One of the worst parts about Zoran being such a nationally prominent politician is that I have, unfortunately, similar speech patterns, like constantly saying for far too long. And now I have to limit it because he says it all the time. Having said that, however, I do say that a lot. I do say that a lot too. Having said that, however, ultimately, at the end of the day, for far too long, I think it's partially because I speak for so long throughout the day that it's virtually impossible for me not to constantly use similar speech patterns. Regular frequency. What else? Out and about, formative role. One must ask the question why. Make no mistake. Eviscerated spectacularly. I love Israel. I don't say that. You mean Zoran says that. That's precisely why. Virtually impossible. Okay, guys, enough. To the best of my abilities. Oh, I do say that a lot. Fuck. It's because you read, and I say that as a teacher of writing. Yeah, I know you like the number. I say that a lot. I'm a numbers guy. I know you like the number. All right, let's take a look. Dems far left lurch sparks heated outnumbered debate.
More Democratic candidates seem to be finding success after attacking Israel on the campaign trail. All three candidates endorsed by Democratic Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani made their anti-Israel stance a centerpiece of their campaigns. Incumbent Congressman Dan Goldman, who is Jewish, lost his primary to one of those candidates. And
yeah, Dan Goldman, who's Jewish, lost his campaign to one of those nasty ones. No one cares about his background, of course. It's not relevant. It's not relevant to the conversation. A Jewish man was taken away from his seat of power.
He says his opponent's message wasn't just...
Also, it's like crazy. This is a wild thing. Like, can you imagine if we were like, Hillary Rodham Clinton defeated anti-Semitically in the primaries Bernard Sanders, who is Jewish? Like it's just funny that it only works in one direction. Okay? It only works in one direction. Can you imagine if Fox News was like, Hillary Rodham Clinton demonstrated peak anti-Semitism by taking out the presidential chances of a Jewish man?
Anti-Israel, but anti-Semitic. Watch.
Outright anti-Semitism, which is on the rise, something I certainly felt during this campaign, and is something that the entire Democratic Party, not just Jews, are going to have to grapple with. It cannot just be on the Jewish community itself to defend against anti-Semitism. It is going to have to be a unified effort for...
Dog, the Jews in your district voted for another Jewish politician over you. That's not anti-Semitism. Like, this argument does not make any sense. He's like, yeah, these Jews voted anti-Semitically for another Jew over me. Like, any other situation, it would still be stupid, but you could at least, like, kind of make it stick. But we're talking about Brad Lander. Like, what do you mean? In a district that is also very Jewish. This argument makes no damn sense.
Everyone who believes in equal rights and civil rights and social justice to band together and to acknowledge that this is a form of hate.
That's funny. Dan Goldman, I think Jews will not replace us. Yeah, he said Jews will not replace me. Yeah, that's funny.
And it's not just New York. Far-left candidates with similar platforms.
They always love running this line. And it's so funny because they have Nita Allam, who lost, Sue Altman, who also lost to Adam Hamawi, Junaid Ahmed. Like, all these people have lost already.
Are running in state and federal races all across the country, many of them on your screen. And they're gaining traction in races against more moderate Democrats. Opposing Israel is just one part of the socialist platform that's dividing Democrats. Some establishment lawmakers have spoken.
Yeah, Brad Lander is hiding scared after Brad Lander's win 2 days ago.
Out against the far left's
35% off gifted subs.
Rhetoric. But the DSA is reportedly plotting on ways to take their ideas all the way to 2028. Marie, let's start with you.
I knew that was coming. I could sense you turning.
Yeah, do you agree with this premise? Does it frighten you? Are there
How much did Lander being Jewish factor into his decision to challenge Goldman instead of accepting a position by Mamdani? What? I don't think that played a role in anything. That's such a weird question. I don't even think you were trying to make it sound suspicious intentionally, but that's a strange question. I don't know how to answer that at all. Yeah, he didn't get a position in the mayoralty, right? And Mamdani knew that Brad is from that district and he's beloved in that district, and he urged him to do that, as opposed to the DSA cadre candidate that was supposed to run in that district at the time. It was a little bit, not to get into too much inside baseball, but at the time that was a decision that was questioned, let's just say. Ultimately, it all worked out because Zohran Mamdani was, making big money moves. I'll be honest, like I was the one who was obviously upset about the Chiose situation with Hakeem Jeffries, but he actually did the money spread straight up. He did the money spread because I thought he had the bandwidth to push for. I thought he had the bandwidth, and not Zohran necessarily, but like DSA had the bandwidth to push for Chi off of this victory, right? To try and unseat Hakeem Jeffries, even though obviously Hakeem Jeffries had like a really high approval rating in his own district. And and I think that would have ruined everything. That straight up would have ruined everything, because Hakeem would have come down like a lion on every race, which he probably still put a lot of investment into, but it would have made it so much more difficult, in my opinion. Yeah. I think Zohran and the DSA moved their political capital around perfectly. They played it perfectly. I'm really proud of them. I'm honored to have played, albeit a small role, in these sequence of victories. And I mean, look, it also kind of preserved Chi's career too. This was like the thing that I was worried about more so than anything else, because I love Chi. I think he's brilliant, and I think he has an insane career ahead of him. And I was worried that this would just cut him out, because it was a huge risk, and it would have expended tremendous amounts of resources from DSA rather than running multiple races at the same time, which was the counter argument that people presented. And Chi ended up looking great overall, right? Chi ended up looking great in the end. He took one for the team. He took an L for the cause, for a broader cause. And he also showed that he was a team player, a movement guy. And now he has, now he doesn't have a potential L, you know what I mean, under his belt.
concerns emanating throughout the Democratic Party of what the anti-Semitism, how it has been fomented or has appearing?
Well, look, I have lots of thoughts on this. First, I would say what we are seeing across the country is an anti-incumbency, anti-establishment movement that people, in both parties are like, we want you out, we want new leaders. On this issue, look, when it comes to Dan Goldman, he was beat by a fellow Jewish politician, Brad Lander, who calls himself a liberal Zionist. He doesn't support Israel, civilians in Gaza. He doesn't support what the Israeli government is doing in the West Bank. But for Dan Goldman to say that is anti-Semitism, look, we are all opposed to anti-Semitism. I've worked on this issue for a long time, and we need to call it out.
What the fuck? I'm watching Fox News. For a second, I was like, what channel am I looking at? What? Bro, we don't hear this from CNN. What the fuck is going on? I literally thought, I was like, what is this, Democracy Now? Like, what? She does not have the style of someone who would be on Democracy Now. What am I looking at?
When it is there, and there are some Democratic candidates who I think are there, and I really do not want to be part of my party and do not support. But someone like Brad Lander, we have to have room in this country to oppose the Netanyahu administration in Israel, to say that Israeli policy is not good.
Yeah, I know he responded to me. I quote retweeted him. He said, it's pretty obviously not an attack ad. It's the NRSC telling you they want El Sayed to win the primary because they think he's easier to beat. Do with that information what you will, but it's what's happening. Republicans want him to be the nominee, which I don't disagree with. I just don't think that he's the weakest candidate out of the three. I think he's the strongest candidate out of the three, which is why I responded and I said, perhaps the Republicans are making a huge mistake, and you are too, with your assessment that Abdul's weaker than Haley Stevens and Mallory McMorrow. Lamau. which of course is Matt Iglesias. Obviously, he's fucking wrong. He's always wrong. Hasanabi, my mom loves you. Thank you. Thank you to your mommy.
Without all being called anti-Semites. And to say that Brad Lander, who is Jewish, who got a lot of the Jewish community to support him in ousting Dan Goldman, is somehow anti-Israel and anti-Semitic, that is a cheap shot. And quite frankly, it weakens the argument when we do call out actual anti-Semitism, of which there is a lot on the right.
Goldman had his money refunded at a coffee shop. My gosh.
Are you going to call
Brad Lander?
Yeah, Dan Goldman had his money refunded at a coffee shop. This is a heinous act of anti-Semitic violence. This is literally the Holocaust. Why did that happen? Oh, like he wasn't denied service at the point of entry, of course. They just realized it was Dan fucking Goldman, Israel's strongest warrior, and the coffee shop, you know, had their feelings about that and wanted to make a statement. It is pretty funny to be like, wow, free coffee, what's next? This is literally what Adolf Hitler did.
Calling out anti-Semitism because he was a victim of it 48 hours ago. And that should be the focus right now. Chevalier, okay, you want to talk about...
Wait, why should that be the focus? Dude, come on. No, you want that to be the focus. Dan Goldman didn't even fucking make a big deal out of it, dude. It's so funny that he was the person who was supposedly victimized in this heinous anti-Semitic hate crime. And literally he was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, yeah, sure, I got free coffee. I just wanted my daughter to use the restroom, so I bought something. Who gives a shit? And Fox News is like, this is the worst thing that has ever happened. If United States Representative and extremely publicly known and outspoken Israel supporter Dan Goldman can't go to this one particular coffee shop in New York City, what about the rest of the Jews? Which, again, I am going to repeat, it's also a very Jewish district. Like, it's not like this is, you know, we're not talking about like Dan Goldman entered a coffee shop in like fucking rural Mississippi or something where he was wearing a Star of David and he got weird looks. Like, this is literally, it's New York City. Most districts are very Jewish districts. This is one that is particularly higher as far as the demographics goes. So that's why it's even funnier. That's also like a couple things that people say about New York that always make me laugh. If you're anti-immigrant in any way, shape, or form in New York City, I laugh at that. I'm like, have you looked around? This is one of the most diverse places on the planet. Like, literally, it's New York and Toronto, two of the most diverse cities on the fucking planet. You're an idiot. And the other thing is, like, when you talk about heinous anti-Semitism and how dangerous it is for Jews to live in New York City, that's insane. Have you been to New York City? It is objectively the safest place for Jews to live on the planet. Like, literally safer than Tel Aviv by design, by default, because Tel Aviv is constantly getting into shit, constantly maintaining an apartheid, constantly doing wars on numerous fronts. So yeah, New York, objectively the safest place on the planet for Jews, aside from like Boca Raton, Sherman Oaks, my fucking neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. It's one of the dumbest fucking arguments of all time. Like, oh, dude, Jews are under attack in New York City. Wow, that's crazy. Also, that guy wearing the Israeli flag blazer, like, wow, I wonder why you feel unsafe walking the streets with what has essentially become universally recognized symbol for atrocious hate crimes by Israel themselves. Yeah, he's like, but it was also funny. It was also funny. Wait, what is this? Dan Bongino quit his... Hey, Hassan Piker, these videos are never going away. Oh, so you want to cancel me? You want to do cancel culture, big dog? Anyway, let's continue.
Lander, let's talk about Chevalier, who after babies were put in ovens on October 7th, the day after, she attended a pro-Palestine rally where there were speakers who attempted to justify October 7th.
And I obviously don't support that, Kaylee.
Claire Valdez, when they put Goldman on the screen at the victory party, her victory party, the crowd was chanting F.
Thank you, Justin Case, for the 40 gifted. We're at level 5 hype train. Will we be able to carry the flame or not, ladies and gentlemen? We have tried to carry the flame twice today and failed twice. We have 1 minute remaining at level 5. If we get to level 6, perhaps we will be able to carry the motherfucking flame at least once today. It's also 35% off for gifted subs, 5 gifted subs and more.
you need to reckon with this part of your party. I'm going to quote Sarah Foreman, a Democratic strategist. She said, this is the version of the Democrats the voting population of New York wants. We need to stop pretending it is not the case. These are socialists, in most cases, anti-Semites. 66% of your party wants socialism.
Why did so many Jews vote for them if they're all
anti-Semites? All due respect, because I love you and you're a smart...
Then why do so many Jews vote for them is so funny. It's true. Yeah, why did that happen then? Explain that, please. Because here's the thing. Martelo, oh my God. Level 6 hype train complete already. What the frick? Mortalicious, thank you for the 20 gifted. Sig Fenmel, thank you for the 10. Solidarity with Gaza, thank you for the 10. God damn. BMO Flow, thank you for the 10 as well. Holy moly. Okay, y'all do want to fucking carry the flame. God damn it, we're at level 7 hype train already. Holy moly. Dobro, thank you for the 10. Cinezion, thank you for the 20 gifted. Rose Dog, thank you for the 5. Spencer W. Mead, thank you for the 5. Hype Train level 7 achieved. Soy Chorizo, thank you for the 10. Smelly Caster, thank you for the 10. Oh my lord. Level 15 gaming. Yeah, I mean, I can confidently. Zylax! I can confidently say level 15 gaming, knowing full well that it's never going to happen because we never get it to level 15. We stop at level 10. I do also. Spuddy the Great Potato, thank you for the 20. I also do low Kirkentually stop pushing for it once we hit level 10 because maybe I don't want level 15. Who knows? Big Bird Butt. I'm proud to help lead the effort to promote common sense Democrats who will be vital in rebranding our party in a way that can win in 2026 and beyond. Promise that America secures signatures from 10 members of Congress. Oh, there it is. We'll break it down for you down below. Tom Swozy, Adam Gray, Kristen McDonald Rivet, Susie Lee, Maggie Goodlander, Josh Gottheimer. Dude, I love that these fucking annoying centrists always find like another caucus to create. Oh my God. Centrists love making new caucuses. It's their favorite fucking thing.
Congressman Fine, what do you have to say to the family of Mohammed Ibrahim that was illegally detained in the West Bank under Israeli military law?
No idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea what I'm talking about? Secretary of State Marco Rubio and U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee secured Mohammed Ibrahim's release after relentless advocacy by CARE, by other advocacy groups that were securing the release of an American citizen, a child, who was illegally detained under Israeli military law under the apartheid regime in the West Bank. Under
holy fuck.
What do you have to say about that?
You lost my interest in your question.
Well, you better get used to it because I'm primarying Jared Moskowitz and I'm about to be your colleague in Congress and we're going to fight for Palestinian self-determination and we're going to stand up to this apartheid regime and AIPAC who supports enablers like you. Fine.
Wait, is that Chung? He kind of has like a Chung. What is this? I just ended hustlings with my local labor MP. She says she's socialist, keen to work with national and international organizations to promote community activism to affect change. I brought up the success of DSA this week and how you galvanize the community to help candidates get elected and prove that quick, effective change is possible with people power. I asked why shining examples of local activism like yourself are being banned while Nick Shirley's are allowed to run rampant. She said she's not a fan of working with sexes. What the fuck? Why does a random local labor MP say I'm a sexist? Dude, oh my God. The fucking if you're anti-Israel, your everything propaganda apparatus reaches far and wide. Holy fuck. Like random local labor MPs are like, oh, he's a sexist. Get the fuck out of here. Nearly every leftist I see on social media uses that same line about you. I don't get it. Fucking no, dude. It's just there is no leftist figurehead that has been around for as long as I have that won't get called a million different smears. It just depends on how much people keep pushing it. You know what I mean? How much people keep pushing it. Like with Bernie Sanders, Bernie was called a fucking creep for like old poems that he wrote 60 fucking years ago. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like they will find every avenue they can to attack you if you are not playing ball with the rest of the supposed progressive forces in the country that aren't really progressive but are Pinos, progressives in name only. Okay? Pinos.
political person in
why?
mind. But if you think we were talking off air about John Ossoff that you think could win a Democratic primary,
absolutely
no way, no how. You're looking at an AOC winning a Democratic primary. Socialism is the way forward for your party. 66% of Democrats say it. And until you reckon with it, we're having a socialism takeover of a party that represents half the country.
Here's the challenge with Israel. I have never seen in my political career of 20 years any issue on the right and the left crater in public support over the last several years as much as support for Israel. And that is not because they're all anti-Semites. There are some, and we need to call them out. And I agree with you, Kayleigh. But a lot of that is because of what the Netanyahu government is doing. And look, yes, these candidates win in New York. These Democratic Socialists win in New York. That's not who Democrats are running in swing states. John Ossoff bridges the parts of the party, moderates, progressives, including on Israel.
Netanyahu didn't refund a man's money at a coffee shop.
Can I jump in on the nationwide thing?
I'm just saying that we have to look across the country. Support for Israel is cratering, and for those of us who want Israel to be safe and secure, we need to grapple with why.
Israel and Jewish Americans are not the same thing.
I agree with.
Wow, really? Wait, no, really? Okay, so I can say whatever the fuck I want about a foreign country without you, I assume, maybe even in the process of this exact news hit, calling someone like myself an anti-Semite then, right? Hold on. We're 5 minutes in. Let's take a look.
This is our country. And if you want to press against, a lobbyist, AIPAC, and you want to do, don't make it commensurate with hating Jews. Your party is in the place of, fine. Then rein in the people who are expressing hate.
Yeah, what about the people on the conservative side expressing hate that have been doing this, that have been talking?
Don't you? We're talking about
but
the
like, if you call
takeover of
out
the
Democrats, call out Republicans
American
too.
Party.
This is not a Democratic problem.
Let's go nationwide.
Not a Democratic.
We don't have
Maine.
anti-Semites, two of whom won a primary just Tuesday night.
Do you know how
Name
many?
for me the two Republican anti-Semites that won a
I could
primary.
give you a list.
Wait a minute. She just said criticisms of Israel have nothing to do with American Jews. Now you're saying Brad Lander, who is Jewish himself, and Daria Lisa and Claire are all anti-Semites for their anti-Israel sentiment. How interesting. That only took, 10 seconds? 10 seconds for you to drop the ball.
List of 100.
Okay, let's go nationwide. In Maine, an oyster farming Nazi,
That's not
Plagner.
true.
In Michigan, you've got El Sayed, who is Hassan Piker's most famous fan. You've got on.
How many seconds was that? 6:04.
Don't you? We're talking about
but
the
like, if you call
takeover of
out
the
Democrats in hate that have been doing this, that have been talking.
Don't you? We're talking about the.
So approximately, it took the panel approximately 35 seconds to go from criticism of Israel has nothing to do with American Jews to one, saying Brad Lander, who is an American Jew, is anti-Semitic for his opinions on Israel, to then finally arrive at Hassan Piker, who, of course, notorious anti-Semite. None of the people that you brought up are anti-Semitic. As a matter of fact, every single person, myself included, have combated anti-Semitism over and over again. We also have issues with Israel. So I guess you don't believe it. How interesting.
This coming Tuesday, out in Denver, Colorado, you have a congresswoman, an incumbent moderate of sorts, Diana DeGette, who has been there for probably 30 years, running against a 29-year-old Malat Quiros. She has no political experience. She's fired from her New York lawyer job for writing anti-Semitic, anti-Israel.
You know what's really funny about this shit, by the way? Well, everything, first of all. But what is exceptional about this back and forth commentary is you know who else they said had no fucking experience and would suck as mayor? Zoran Kwame Mamdani. You know who has been a phenomenal mayor so far, regardless of his lack of experience in governance? Zoran Kwame Mamdani. So it turns out experience doesn't mean much. As a matter of fact, experience is bad. It just shows that you have nothing to show for after 30 fucking years of occupying a seat.
Stuff. You're seeing this happen all across the country. And the fact that the Democrat Socialists of America, in 2015, they had 6,000 people. Bernie Sanders launches a quasi-socialist campaign. They say, let's hitch our wagon up to this. Even though we're farther to the left, let's see where it takes us. Today, they just had a hat trick sweep in New York, and they have more than 100,000 members nationwide with their eyes set on taking down Hakeem Jeffries.
Because people know that the system isn't working for them. This is the thing. People, I don't think a lot of these voters that voted for Democratic Socialists also voted for Donald Trump in 2024. So some of it is about policies. I mean, we can look at the data. It's just the numbers don't lie.
Well, what hinges there is free stuff and affordability.
They want someone who's
different.
going to
We're
blow
talking
up the
about
system.
hatred for Jews in this country. Okay? And the press, the physical press against them, the threats against them up more than 400% in just the last few years.
Yes.
We cannot let that cook. This is 1933, by the way, where you've got people who want to go to a business who happen to be Jewish and they're being turned away. I remember, and I don't know if everybody has studied it this much, but that's really when it started. It didn't start with Jews. It started.
Oh my God, they get so woke, dude. It's so funny. By the way, I don't think any of them are Jewish. Not that it matters, but it's hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and hell hath no fury like a Fox News panelist that is going to get absolutely hysterical about not really protecting Jews, by the way, but protecting people who are pro-Israel, okay? It is crazy. These guys literally, and I can say this comfortably because it's not even like DEI only for Jews at this point. It's just DEI only for people who are in defense of Israel, Jews who are in defense of Israel, because they're on the one hand calling a Jew who is against Israel, right? Who isn't even like all that against Israel, but is definitely very critical of Israel, a parasite, an anti-Semite. That's it. The only people in this country that are the recipients of true DEI are Jewish people who are pro-Israel. Okay, that's it. According to Fox News, those are the only people that you could talk about this way. Meanwhile, say anything of the sort about black people on this panel, which includes a black lady, and they will call you hysterical.
With push. Please don't cut me off, because I'm going to require that you know more than what you're saying about what they're going through right now.
I have studied this my entire life, and when Donald Trump...
What are they going through now? This is our moment not to let this happen.
Yeah, I tried to go to an Arab-owned restaurant with a Palestinian flag, wearing an IDF shirt and meta glasses, and they didn't want me there. This is Nazi Germany.
Then call out anyone who does it. And when Donald Trump says Chuck Schumer is a Palestinian,
I'm calling out on this couch today,
Jew,
the topic that we're on
too.
Is in your party. And instead of you taking responsibility...
Damn, she's cooking, by the way, with this whole know you. It's such a potent tool. God, know you is so powerful. That and nuh-uh. I really feel like we don't give enough credit to the know you as a really, really reliable mechanism of deflection. I'm over here going, yeah, you're cooking, sis.
For that, with any kind of idea of how to stop it. For Goldman even was against Trump, but look what happened to him. It happened because...
Yeah, why are you defending him? You guys called him heinous shit when he was leading the impeachment against Donald Trump. And now, all of a sudden, because he got unseated, because he got fucking unseated by a Jewish Democrat that's more progressive than he is on Israel, and boom, all of a sudden, he's like, this is the greatest guy around. Why are we... I can't believe they punished my favorite Democratic congressperson, Dan Goldman.
Because he's Jewish.
No, it didn't. It did not happen because he's Jewish. It happened because he gave a blank check to a right-wing Netanyahu government that is committing Gaza.
The cafe
that is why.
Because he's Jewish.
That's
Kamala
not why
Harris
he
said
lost.
Josh Shapiro,
That's not why
governor
he lost.
of Pennsylvania, didn't get picked on the bottom half of her
That's not
ticket
why.
because he was Jewish.
That is
In
not
the book,
why.
And she
Don't
said
tell
it
me about my party.
Well, call Kamala.
That's not
Tell
why
her.
Josh Shapiro didn't get picked. I promise
Call
you
her.
that's
It's in
not
the
why
book.
he
She
didn't
said it
get
on
picked.
camera. Call her.
That's not why he didn't get picked. And when Donald Trump sits in the Oval
wrong
Office...
Harris. Call her. She's
when
your
Donald
friend.
Trump sits in the Oval Office and says Chuck Schumer is a bad Jew and a Palestinian because he doesn't support Bibi, that is classic anti-Semitism. And everyone on the right needs to call that out as much as they're calling out some Democratic Socialist congressional candidate in New York. That's all I'm asking for. That's it.
Can you answer for your own party?
I will answer for all.
Do you remember when I told you about a local coffee shop in San Francisco where a barista was wearing a Free Palestine hoodie and a Zionist went there and started debate lording them on their hoodie, and they got asked to leave and made one of those selfie videos about it. And my mom saw it and told me not to go there anymore because it's not safe for Jews. And it's literally my favorite coffee shop. Oh, that's awesome. She's just worried about you getting hate crimed, okay? Just like she's worried about how Dan Goldman got hate crimed by being unseated in Congress. Hate crimes are happening all around, okay? Yeah, earlier today, Representative Fine was hate crime by Oliver Larkin for being asked a question about his complete indifference to the illegal detention of a 16-year-old Floridian, Mohammed Ibrahim, in the West Bank. You know, these are 10 bodies for the ADL, okay? Jonathan Greenblatt is waiting around, writing these down right now.
But you didn't.
I just did for 10 minutes. All right, Emily's trying to jump.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News